tuning in after the live, just please make sure to hit that like button. Even if you're tuning in during the live, hit that like button. And if you appreciate my work, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that bell notification on to all. Um, Everybody who's already tuning in, like, thank you so much. It was so fun before the stream just talking to you through the chat. It's a different perspective. So, Miss Vicky, welcome in. Let's see everybody who's here so far. And then we're going to get to the intro. I just want to say hi to everybody real quick because we got a lot to talk about today with XRP. I mean, a lot to talk about. A lot of people are getting their emotions out of whack right now. We have FOMO Fridays today where we buy our $50 a week in Casper until we get to 10,000 as we transitioned over from H-bar after our 10,000. But let me just say hi to everybody. This should not be a surprise to anybody. That's the thing. This move, not a surprise. As we talked about it the last several days in the live this morning, at my YouTube video, I said we were anticipating it. Well, we're waiting on the 12% drop. I just basically telegraphed it. Where did this XRP go? And we knew it was coming. It's just, where does it hold? Does XRP hold where we think we can get that parabolic spike? Or do we end up, you know, once again with XRP coming right back down to where we were at prior to the move up? Now I see chat is moving very quickly as I was trying to get this chart out so everybody could see, because this is the very important chart for the spot we're in. So let me just say hi to everybody, as it seemingly the chat is going pretty quick right now for just loading on. Whoops. The chat is going. So all right, so driver, welcome in. Miss Vicky, thank you so much for tuning in. Russell. Let's see, there's so many comments. John Hall, Rockin, XRPN, CLT, Rockin, Painter, Dennis. Thank you all for chatting before the stream as well. No Nick, no name, welcome in, got a front row seat indeed. Christopher, good evening. Welcome, I appreciate you tuning in. Harvey Boy, good evening. Infamous, welcome. Puentes, good evening. Russell Griffin, not me, bro. I want another bag. Absolutely. There's a lot of we'll get into it. A lot of people they understand though. A lot of people are starting to understand what these moments are right now when this happens after a major breakout. We need our liquidity, folks, if we want this to continue. I don't know why, but I feel so excited about this drop. Our Tom picked it. Thanks, Miss Vicky. I feel excited about this one too for some reason, because you know it makes you feel like you understand exactly what's going on. Remember, yesterday during the live we extended this out, which was possibly the lowest area for that bull flag to hold, and we said if we lose this area, it's just going to drop. 65 won't hold. I said I don't think even 61.33 will, but we'll get into this. I just like to say hi to everybody. Mohammed, good evening, my friend. Crypto Solo Scrooge in the house, welcome in. Make sure you watch Crypto Solo Scrooge, as he is on top of Solo, and I know he's all over this pattern formation with Solo. On this downtrending channel now it seems to have fallen into, and we talked about this in the live when I went silent yesterday. I said Deathcross in 4 hour, and we had to come down to here roughly, and this is the channel. This will determine if Solo is going to continue to make a big bounce. And as Crypto Solo Scrooge knows, you can have a really nice bounce back up to the top of this. This is just a small channel, mind you. This pattern is not just in this channel, just what's formed here over the past, since we've fallen into this, basically this big, what looked like a bear flag, but it didn't form out as a flag, it formed out as a channel. This just started a couple weeks ago. So now we're gonna see if this holds or we come back into consolidation. This is doing exactly what most of the market's doing. If you're a Solo fan, just sneak peek. I'm trying to get you to go over to watch Crypto Solo Scrooge. So I've been paying attention more to the charts, Scrooge. Because of you, I paid more attention to Solo, and now it's going to become a repertoire. After we get done with Casper, the next one I'm buying on FOMO Fridays. No, not FOMO Fridays. On Winning Wednesdays, after we finish with Algo. Either way, whichever one we finish first, the next one we're buying is Solo, FYI. And that's in dedication to Crypto Solo Scrooge. So then every Wednesday or Friday, I can help push his channel. That's what we're doing. So anyhow, let's continue. I'm sorry, I'm still saying hi to everybody in the comments. This is something I do. You probably won't see anybody else do this, but this is just something I like to do. So I keep saying the more people we get in, the harder it's going to be. But you know what? This is what I like to do. Let's see. Mel, good evening. Gypsy Flat, good evening. Kryptonian, yo, holding the line, not tripping, buying the dipping. Exactly. Love it. Love it. Russell 585, that's what I think as well. Spiders meme, Florida freedom. You know, I was down in Florida in January. It was the interesting vacation. No nickname, no name. Keep hitting that. Exactly. Keep hitting that like button. I appreciate you. Terry Lickens on the scene. Welcome. Always dropping a lot of facts in the comments during my videos, and that cannot be overlooked. Dean Brown, Christopher, Jason McDonald, welcome in. Christopher in from Moscato or Muskaka, I don't know, Muskaka, Ontario, Canada, my brother into the north. KLC, Rockin' Painter, ATK, welcome in. Mr. Bams, what's going on, brother? Dean, like he said, hit the like button. KK, welcome in from Malaysia. I love Edit, welcome in from the Netherlands. GJG, good evening. Homemade, I'm doing good, my friend. Good to see you as well. X-Wing, good evening. Yo, the value is in the protocol. It sure is. It sure is. Thanks for that, Crypto Scrooge. So you like the solo TI. I appreciate that. That was just for you, because you've been nailing it. Can we take a look at Corium? Not tonight, probably, but Corium we do have a plan for. Corium Concepts actually is in this community. Started the channel after being in this community, and now he's up to like 700 and something. So we got some wing spread in here, ladies and gentlemen. Jan, welcome in, love. Wig Busta, let's go indeed, welcome in. Joe Ramrod, welcome in. Kryptonian. Humade, Ruben, Jason. Welcome in, everybody, and happy Friday. And remember, it's FOMO Fridays. Now, how many stuck around after all that? 92 people in here already. Wow, after 7 minutes. That's why it took so long to get through the comments. Holy smogolies. Please hit that like button, as it will greatly help push me through the analytics. And also, please, if you like my work, hit that subscribe button. But all I ask is hit that like button. So as we can see here, this looks just like a fake J-hook here. There's no volume coming in here. It behooves us most times not to come up here. But the fact we couldn't even make a move before the flip of the clock. Now we held this little channel here still. So we could come back up here and have to get a rejection all the way up to 65 cents. But if we're looking at the 3 hour or the 4 hour time frame where we are very close to that Deathcross, it still would point probably to come up a little bit farther for a retest. The 3 hourly we've already confirmed and came through and broke down. So now it's a matter of, did we have the volume to support a further move down in the short term? We already know in the daily it was still trash for volume in comparison to the 203 million on the big pump up. The daily probably didn't even hit 30 million, even with that big push. 26.59 million, and there's only 3 minutes and 39 seconds left in this candle. Now you compare it to the big pump up on the 94% candle, that was 202 million. So now we break it into the 30-minute. Does this support a further drop down? Well, that's a 6.485 million candle right there. So yeah, I would say it does, unless you got a parabolic boost in volume here. Right now, we still need to come down, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what I believe, and I forgot, I think, to do the intro. So, good evening, 7:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, August 4th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I really do. I greatly appreciate it. Jan, thank you so much for being a member for 20 months. Wow. That is unbelievable. 20 months. Hey, Tom, I appreciate the work you put in day out for the community. Hashtag don't trip by the dip. Exactly. I love that. Mark Holmes, welcome in, my friend. Roger says, waiting for cheap across. Or cheap cross. Yep. I mean, it looks like, Tom, I'm in DGB for 32,000 coins. Nice, ATK. And remember, with DGB right now, what's it about? Just over 0.00793. Every 20% down, buy a little bit more. It's so cheap, buy a little bit more. That should be your motive with everything. No matter what you buy, you always buy 20% lower. If it goes 20% down, that's something that over the years is just. But you have to find your spot. You can't just take your shot in a bull market and say I'm going to buy every 20% down. You go broke. You find a shot in a bear market and then you try to grasp onto it. That's up to your interpretation. The first time around, I only had 10,000 tokens. Now I have 62,222, but it's all about your plan. All I think is if you have 10,000 tokens of what you want and you think it's actually going somewhere, 10,000 tokens should be plenty. The ones that are cheaper like DGB, I'm just taking more while I can have it. So the master plan for me is 10,000 tokens universally. But some of them I have more, like with Zill and VeChain and yada, yada, yada. But anyhow, with XRP, we look in the 30-minute. I think this has to come down to the 585. If we break it out into the daily, you can clearly see this cup and handle formation that started all the way back here in April, actually about March, April of 2022. JW, welcome in, my friend. One of the longest standing viewers in here. I love seeing you in here. Terry, my man Thomas, has been a ride. Let's ride it out. It sure has been a ride. Oh, we'll be riding it out. We got, like I keep saying, everybody's, that gets a little overworked. The fact XRP didn't go up 10,000%. They're waiting for something to happen right now in a bear market, and it's not the right time. It's not 2025 or 2028. Right now, it's still early. But that doesn't mean that we can't have short-term rewards, and that doesn't mean that lower lows can't be achieved in making new levels, in that regard. But right now, we're firmly looking at this cup and handle in the longer scale of this pattern. That's a wide cup and handle, and we're looking to see if we make a bullish handle. The bullish handle here at 585, as we've been talking about, which we drew that out while the bull flag was in formation, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks ago. True, welcome in, my friend. Good to see you in here as well, and I see you are part of Tom's Army. I love that emoji badge, month 1 emoji badge. I appreciate that. Joining the TFAM, me being abducted by aliens, true story. That's what that is. I'm superimposed, my face is in there. Drew, welcome in. Good evening, my friend. The only guy I trust to tell us what's going on right now. I appreciate that. Digital Orgy, welcome in. MSR Cold Rooms, time flies when we're having fun. It sure is. Can you believe it's already August 4th? It's craziness. So anyhow, with this cup and handle, but you'll notice now that XRP is going down, we're going to see less people that are interested. So this is when you're going to see, when you look inside the chat and when you look at the ones who are around when it's going down, you're going to want to get more high vibes from people that stick around during the bear cycles and not take the advice from the ones who only end up popping up when it's in a bullish move. If you understand what I'm saying, you can learn a lot about your fellow man and woman in the comments right now that stick it out during bear markets, that stick it out during big drops. And by their reaction, my youngest turns 18 in 2 days. She's, Jesus. Wow. That's I'm not there yet, but that's a certain feeling right there. 18 for your youngest. Technically, your youngest one is ready to, even at your youngest is ready to leave. Well, I don't want any of them to leave. I told the 16-year-old, you got a room there until you're 80. I don't really want anybody to leave, to be honest with you. I kind of like it, especially with her type 1 diabetes. I can support her, So, anyhow. The cup and handle at the 585, I think that's the most opportune time. And true, we talked about this. You were talking about this. This is such a, you made the comment this morning. 60 cents is like slicing through butter, cutting through butter. It never ends. It just keeps going. Like it re-stiffens and then back through. But I still think the best opportunity is that 585. Yes, the best opportunity in the bull flag was here, but that doesn't give you the maximum bounce. You're trying, when you're doing this, you want the tension. You want it to come down so far, it's like a slingshot. And you see what's happening here? This is a lot of, they're just trying to get, look at this. Up, we came through. Now we're winding. I mean, if you're ever going to wind the band, if it slingshots out of here, that's so wound up now. You would have you're talking about a nice, It's a nice parabolic spike there. And like, I don't like to give everybody's hopes up and be like, hey, we're going up this far. But I mean, we can look at it. We can look at the potential. We all know the breakout target of 585 if it plays true. Now, the caveat here is you've created a whole layer of resistance here. Now you got the 613, the break back into the broadening wedge, which is essentially what we're daring to do. So we'd break back into the broadening wedge breakout, which was a shorter pattern, but now you have to reconcile with that. Hopefully it's just a quick wick, and then you'd come back over in this scenario because we need this liquidity. It's apparent. We need the liquidity, and we're looking for a catalyst. And guess what? I may just have the catalyst for us, and I talked about it earlier. So you can watch the whole thing I talked about on my live that I did earlier. But I'll show everybody, we may have the catalyst we've been looking for. There's an addition to the Hinman documents, ladies and gentlemen, that they didn't want to tell us for 2 years. And now it finally is breaking. So keep that in mind when we're looking for a catalyst here. It's almost lining up too perfect that we're having this dump right now. So you're talking about coming all the way up here to $1.50. So if you bounce off the, and that's, remember, we're going to go through the long list, but if you want your hopium and a reason to at least be optimistic, this would be a reason, but I'm going to show you reasons why that this isn't exactly what meets the eye right now. And I'm going to show you every reason why, that even though a lot of people are pushing the $1.50, it shouldn't even be on your radar yet. Yes, it's 155%, and I acknowledge that. And it will get views. Yes, I get it. But remember, to get to that 155%, I've already laid the groundwork. You have to break back over the broadening wedge resistance at 6133, which I think you can do. Then you got to come back over the breakdown of the bull flag, which is going to meet firmly roughly at 65, and then you'll create another resistance somewhere around 67.3. Then you got to get back up over here. Then you're going to meet a major resistance at 852, swing high at 937, and the biggest resistance of all, in my opinion, that will stop you from $1.50 is we had a swing high in 2021 of $1.98, a swing low in mid to late 2022 of 286. That puts us firmly, and I've had this mapped out in my head, and that's why it's in pink, by the way, and it confuses everybody. But that's because that is my number, and I like that color pink. So that's why I use it, and it's close to red. And it'll make everybody be like, what is that? Why is that out there? That doesn't look right. So the $1.13, it doesn't look right because that is the end of a bear market rally. If you break $1.13 and hold it, that could signify a breakout and a restart of possibly a starting up of another bull market. But that's a long ways up. So, and it's ironic because if the bull flag would have held, it would have brought you right to $1.13 for rejection. So you need added liquidity. If you want to make a real bounce here and not come back down to these levels, and like, let's say you go to $1.50 and maybe the new level's $1 or 85 cents. If you don't want to keep repeating this cycle, XRP's got to do it properly. It never does. It never does it properly. XRP, every single time it'll pump up like this on a ton of volume, pump right back down with the same amount. The difference here right now is the volume doesn't equate. Look at all this buy volume, even a little sell volume to start. It's been wiped out as we come across. It's literally dying out, just fading away. Yeah, parabolic to me is not going to 10,000. A parabolic spike to me, okay, I bought in, and if I can 1x my money, that's a parabolic spike. If I go to the bank and they tell me at the end of this move, the end of this cycle, the end of this quarter, I guarantee you 100% return, or you have 100% return, that's a parabolic spike. Some people might categorize it as 1,000%. That doesn't mean it's true. A 50% is a parabolic spike to some. But I think 100%, whenever you can 1x your investment, that's a parabolic spike. Hey, Tom, could the cup and handle play out to 150 even if we don't hit? In my opinion, it's going to be very tough. Very tough to go to $1. You need as much liquidity as possible to push through all these resistance. If you don't come down to 585 and you bounce off the broadening wedge, you could come close, but you don't. To me, there's a whole layer of liquidity at 585. That's where so many people refuse to sell. They refuse to sell because they refuse to buy, and then all of a sudden it bounced through. Now you know they're going to be sitting there. They're dying to buy right there because they're not willing to say, hey, I was wrong. It broke through the double top. maybe I should have bought the first time around, and now I have all the leverage right now on the way back down. Now they're just hoping, hey, I can get back down there. Now, the reason why I don't like to play it off of the 6133, it's simple to me, because if it plays the 6133, that can be a fake out. If it comes to the 585, we're going to find out very quickly what this pattern has in store. Because if we break through that, you have one more layer to hold you, and I don't like this. Do you really want to come back to the short-term pattern breakout at 55 cents? Okay, so you have a massive move up. These are all buyers. These are all buyers. You need sellers. You need somebody to buy the slack. So all these people, you want them to hold. And as you get, like, let's say people are leverage trading in the futures market, or you've got people that have bought in, but they're riding it up and they're looking for profit. So that's who we call the swing traders. Well, the investors, they're holding it and waiting for these levels to play out. So right here, the swing traders, the ones who picked wrong in the futures trade, so they thought it was going short, it goes long. Now they're forced to buy it when it goes up too high. Those shares are forced to be put into the market one way or the other. The exchange might be taking your money, but those exchanges are being put into the market. You know, something's happening there. So then also, when these sellers are selling, see how the volume is dipping? We're getting more consolidation in the price action because it's coming down to, in my opinion, this is where it comes into the stop orders, the limit orders. It knows what it's doing. So the liquidity that I'm talking about is more buyers on the way down. You're adding more market value to the token, even though right now it's not adding up in dollar amount. You're adding buyers. So you might have had, let's just for example say we got 1.7 million people holding XRP right here. Well, now we come down and we're selling off, and let's say we sell off 200,000 of them to the bottom. But as we're selling off, we're also picking up. But then all of a sudden when we get to the bottom, that's where the computer's projecting that, hey, at 585, we've got $500 million worth of buyers there. That's liquidity for the move up. That's what I talk about with liquidity. So it's basically squeezing you into zone with no volume. There's no sell volume. It's 10 times less on average in each of these candles on the way down than it was on the 94% spike candle. What I'm looking for is liquidity for the huge bounce. A huge bounce. So all these people that are selling, the swing traders, the ones who are getting leveraged out, the ones who are just selling their holdings because for whatever reason, that's adding liquidity to the market makers. They're getting their market fees or whatever. But what we're looking for is a liquidity move. We're looking for liquidity for a big move. So I believe the most stackers are stacked up at 585. If they didn't hold at 585 and it fell through, that means that we're probably falling bearish, and everything we want to happen is likely not going to happen on this little cycle. That's what I mean with liquidity. I think there's a whole bunch of people stacked here. So you're going to have X amount of dollars stacked there. So maybe you got $200 million floating in buys over here. And then maybe all through here you had a couple, 4 or 5 million, 6 million, 20 million, whatever. Then you come down here, and to put it in perspective, let's say in the daily candles, like this was a 200 million candle. Now you have like, in these you can see, let me just show you so you can understand. In the daily, this was a 203 million candle on the 94% spike. That's a lot of volume coming in. That's a lot of liquidity for a price push up, and you need liquidity with XRP because there's a huge circulating supply. Over 53, about 50, it's getting close to 53 billion, if not over. So now you come up, and now when you start pushing down, you're like, okay, well, now we got the sellers. 27.5 million, 21, 23, 37, 25, 32 on a buy, 8 million, 26. Look at the lack of buying pressure. Even yesterday's or today's daily was 26.6. We're still moving down in the same weight. That's going to end up playing out as a bullish diversion when it comes to price action compared to volume. So now what I'm saying is you have these little cells coming through all the way down, and they're forcing the volume down. You know what it tells me? That the computers just aren't allowing buys right now. They're letting everybody who's selling force the market down. They're not putting in their buys, and they do it strategically. That's why we had a bounce here. You know, we've had bounces, but only when it comes farther down. Now I think what they're doing is that 585 would be where they would capitalize. They know formations. They're setting it up with the computer. The computer, with the analysis that it does by the numbers, knows we've had a golden cross here. It knows the most buyers are probably going to stack up where we had a double top breakout because they failed to buy there the first time. And for anybody who's having second thoughts, you know, that's probably where they would re-enter the market instead of holding it now or trying to buy in now. But I believe that's where you just have a lot of liquidity stacks, so you would have a big buy order there. And then the market knows it. If I know it, the market knows it. The market makers. So I don't think this can hold. They're not allowing us to buy right now. They're not allowing because a lot of it's on the computer. A lot of it's just a machine. It's just an AI. It's a code. So a lot of this, you know, we just got to wait for the proper buy. It may sound, I don't know, it might not make sense, but that's how I look at it. So we're looking for liquidity. We need a big liquidity spike. We don't have any right now. You're not going to get up on 10 million in volume. We need another daily candle where we get 100 or 200 million. We need to find a 30-minute candle or a 4-hour candle when it gets down here, where all of a sudden we end up having, like, you know, a massive breakout. But that's what we're searching for. But you see this bear flag that it looks like it's going to start putting in here. Even in the 2-hourly, the 1-hour, this doesn't look good. This looks like it needs to come down farther. I mean, I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just trying to make sure we're all lined up properly. The 108 people that are sticking around during this, I can't thank you enough. 87 likes. Make sure to hit that like button, as it'll greatly help push me through the analytics. It really will. So if you're looking for a parabolic spike, I mean, I would be firmly looking at that 585 level. Firmly. If it doesn't hit that level, we've got a problem. So that's the best I can answer that question. Honestly, being honest, that's the best I can answer the old liquidity question. But if you didn't catch this news, I'm not going to read through this. You can read this yourself on my last update or my live. But I just want to give you like the overview. But I don't want to use this one. I'd rather use just this for the overview. So has anybody seen this? Has everybody seen this with the extra Hinman docs? Or with the 300 and what is it, 65 pages or whatever they're forced to give over? So XRP Army outraged over new Hinman docs. Roll of Ethereum's Joe Lubin. How long do you think it could? I think it would be pretty quickly to go to 585. This could happen overnight. I think this is going to happen in this immediate short term. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened this weekend, if it happened tonight. You know, it's just, how quick can we break this formation? I think it's got to come down. I think it's got to come down, and this weekend's the perfect time with no liquidity. But, you know, it could take until Monday or Tuesday as well, like into next week, because with low, with the futures market off, it's easier to push it up. So if we're looking for a retest, it could possibly happen. But we have a Deathcross forming right now in the 4-hourly. We'll take a look at that after. The 3-hourly is already confirmed, and we knew it was coming down because of that too. But, so this is big. To me, this is big. I'm surprised it's not getting, everybody's not talking, like everybody. Like some touch base on it, but I think this should be the reason why most of you, if not all of you, should be like, you know what, there's bigger things coming here in the short term. There's a reason why the price is dipping at the exact same time that this is happening. So XRP Army outraged over the new Hinman docs. Roll of Ethereum's Joe Lubin. And Bauer oversight a watchdog group has released a new batch of documents obtained through a Freedom of Information Act FOIA request yesterday, sparking outrage in the XRP community. The documents reveal deeper involvement of Ethereum co-founder Joseph Lubin and his company Consensus in the controversial June 14, 2018 cryptocurrency speech by former SEC Director of Corporate Finance William Hinman. The bear said ICE 919. If it did go to those levels, great. I'm not waiting or expecting. Oh, okay. I see what you got. You guys are having your own conversation. I'm just going to continue reading this. Cryptocurrency speech by former SEC Director of Corporate Finance William Hinman. According to the documents released on August 3rd, 2023, Joseph Lubin and his company Consensus played a much more central role than previously known in driving the SEC Director of Corporate Finance William Hinman's thinking and goals with his controversial June 14, 2018 cryptocurrency speech. This speech has been a point of contention in the Ripple case, especially as the SEC has since claimed that other similar cryptocurrencies, including XRP, were unregistered securities. And then we already went through this. So if you want to look at this document, what was released and everything they said, I show that if you go in my past video from today. The documents also reveal that Lubin also appears to have been responsible for bringing Hinman and Ethereum creator Vitalik Buterin together as the speech drafting advanced. Furthermore, investors and attorneys closely associated with Ethereum were prominent on the list of a March 28, 2018 meeting on crypto safe harbor proposal. So, I mean, what do you guys all make of this? The documents also highlight a meeting between Hinman and Simpson Thacher, partner Chris Lynn, which was contrary to advice on conflicts of interest rules. The SEC Ethics Office had repeatedly warned Hinman since he was receiving millions of dollars in payments from Simpson Thacher while at the SEC, and power oversight has been at the forefront of the battle for SEC transparency, filing numerous FOIA requests and lawsuits to compel the SEC to release documents related to its decision-making on cryptocurrency issues. Liquidity is available money sitting on the sidelines waiting to pounce. You know, that's an easier way to say it. I could have just said that, Terry. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you. I guess I could have said that instead of going on a 7-minute explanation. That might have made it a lot easier to grasp. You actually said it very nicely. Hey, Mr. Anderson, I appreciate that. You know, just like from the beginning, I still, when I think about your name, whenever I hear or see Ryan or Mr. Anderson, I still think of the Matrix, so I thank you for giving me that. I mean, right now, too, look what's happening. The total crypto market cap, the U.S. dollar currency index is trying to validate the short-term Deathcross. But now if we go into the higher time frames, what are we seeing? Are we seeing a Deathcross? Or are we seeing room for another move up here on the support of the higher time frames? That's what I'm saying. I think crypto, this still needs to validate a bigger move up probably. This didn't get rejected yet in the higher levels. Usually in the daily, if you come up like this, you're going to get rejected at like 103.20 in that 200 day. It's actually quite surprising that it came down the way it did. Now it's still showing support at the 200. But the U.S. is getting ready to unleash hell right now. We're getting ready to pass 1.2 trillion. So I think some things in the short order are going to start happening here. So we need this liquidity dump because I think risk on assets and crypto and things like that might end up having a nice big pump here at some point, especially if they go back to quantitative easing full scale. Now that they got their AAA credit rating devalued to AA+, makes it a little more expensive to do things in the homeland, ladies and gentlemen. So just be aware of what's going on. The total crypto market cap real quick. Again, that also looks like it's building pressure in a way. But we'll see. We came through there. 1.095 now is probably where we're coming, and that would make sense. This is where we got out of this formation, and now to hold this, look what's forming here. I'm just showing the numbers. Oh yeah, I want to do FOMO Fridays real quick with Casper. So Casper is currently at 40369. Ooh. Hey, look, Casper's trying to confirm a breakout attempt, to the next level. But we're going to do our FOMO Fridays here with Casper. This is our 4th daily buy on Fridays of FOMO Fridays right now with the community buys. We have, what do we have with Casper? 3,760, hey, more tokens than I thought. We spent $150, so 3 daily $50 purchases. Today's our 4th $50 purchase. And we're at 3,764 tokens. Our goal is to get to 10,000 tokens of everything we're accumulating together. So, and this can only happen because we already met our goals with XRP, XLM, and XDC unless they go 20% below our buy-in. And we've went through a slew of others like DGB, ZIL, VeChain, HBAR. Now we're building Algo on Winning Wednesdays, 75 a week. But right now, we're doing our $50 a week. And right now, 50 bucks of, well, I do 51 because there's a 99 cent fee on uphold for small purchases. So I'm going to do 51 from now on. Right now I'm going to do $51 to offset the 99-cent charge. So $51, and that will get you 1,218. We're going to be over. You know what? I'm going to put an extra dollar in here because this is going to put us over 5,000. I'm going to do $53 this week. 1,002. Nope, I'm going to do $54 just to be safe. So $54 gets us 1,292 Casper, and you can do it however you want, but this is my portfolio, and this is, you know, we're trying to build up to 10,000, so this will get us halfway there approximately, I think. So I'll show you the proof that we just did this, and then we got to get back in the charts. This is Casper's chart, so, you know, we're charting it diligently. So now we have 5,056 Casper on $203 approximately now. 206, I don't know exactly what it is. But, so we can see right here, there's the Casper. Now we own 5,056 Casper. So we're halfway to our Casper goal. So thank you everybody for buying on FOMO Fridays. I love FOMO Fridays. I love it. We actually got to buy H-bar together. We got to buy all, well, because George, it keeps going down. It's under $1. It's simple. We don't have the proper volume coming in. We have a 53 billion circulating supply in our token. A lot of people say it doesn't matter, but it does. Algo can push more in a short time. It only has a 7.7 billion circulating cap. Look it up. That's a much smaller circulating cap, so we don't need as much money coming in. XLM, we don't need as much money coming in. It's an unlimited circulating market cap, or circulating supply, but right now, it's not quite there. There's a lot of things with a much lower circulating supply. Bitcoin, you know, I mean, but with Casper, you can see what I'm seeing, right, everybody? It looks like a reversal pattern in our making. This is exactly the formation we bought H-bar on as well. Just so everybody knows, and everybody who bought H-bar with the community won't mind going through these charts, because you should want to. See that formation right there before everything loads? This looks very familiar with the Casper. I said Casper was a little bit behind, and now it's catching up. But this is what we bought right here starting in May. We were able to buy it right through here and just buy it in this area. We did it over 9 weeks. We got 10,054 tokens. So that was FOMO Fridays. Now we moved on to Casper. After Casper, I would like to do solo. So basically what might end up happening is we might have winning Wednesdays at some point where we buy Corium on winning Wednesdays and solo on FOMO Fridays, because I am stacking everything that's in relation to XRP, to the ledger, that has any part to this. So it's going to take time. You know, it's going to take time, and some of them, you know, we'll see. We'll see how far we can get. But that's the true, you don't want to bankroll your whole family. You're going to have to. Don't have that mindset. Be positive and be appreciative in the fact that you can, if you play this right. See, I'm not worried about bankrolling my family. I think it's a blessing. I'll go, yes, we did winning Wednesdays on Wednesday, and we have on winning Wednesdays, we've acquired now, we've done 3 purchases now on Algo. So $225 as a community. And with Algo, we have 2,015 tokens right now. So not bad. We're 20% there, 50% on our way to Casper. But yeah, I'm trying to show, I'm being as transparent as I can. Some people are like, you shouldn't share your portfolio. I'm on YouTube, folks. I'm an influencer. I'm not giving you my passcode. I'm not showing you everything in verbatim. I'm telling you because I want you to do the same thing. You know, I practice what I preach. So that's H-bar. So let's go back to Casper. So Casper, you see this formation? Doesn't that look very familiar? Looks pretty similar. That's a pretty similar pattern right now. And this very well, if we consolidate properly, this could properly, if we can get over and hold that 413, we could possibly start breaking up here in the short term. I don't want it to break over 4.8 because that's my line in the sand to buy Casper. So I'm really pushing the gun here. I'm really pushing it. I need to get my Casper before it breaks here. And that's just That's my own personal thing. Nobody has to live by that. That's just me. So that's just me. That's just the way I do business. So now let's see. DGB. DGB still consolidating here for a breakout. Had a nice V-shaped recovery. It's coming out for consolidation. But the Deathcross, like we talked about, we'd be looking if this continues down, and we should come down here if that continues pushing. We're firmly within a pattern. We're firmly within a descending triangle formation. And it's a 2-tier. This is just a smaller one right here. It actually goes much farther down. So that's what we're looking at here. And it's only spelled out like that because I was doing this in my silent take last night. But some of them already fulfilled it. Some of them already fulfilled what we were talking about. So pay attention to that with DGB, V-chain, another one that's building pressure. We see a lot of these V-shaped recoveries here. V-chain we talked about coming right back down to there, and it did it. It came down to this, and then it came down right where we were thinking. Now it's a matter of, does it break the cycle? Does it break the formation? So anyhow, we'll get back to XRP, but first, XDC. Remember yesterday? Remember in the live when everybody said, can it go up to 10 cents? And what did we say here? Or can it go up past where we were at? What did we say? We had a big volume predicts price, right? Remember we said volume predicts price? What did we see? That was a very bad sign last night. It was in the, I believe it was the 30-minute time frame? We could see a clear breakdown in volume. A clear breakdown. I think we're up here. And then the volume, it just broke down in a weird way, and we're like, this has to come back down. Well, for everybody who's watching this now, I think it might have been the yeah, I mean, there's no volume, but we knew it was coming back down. We talked about it's either a retest or you come to the bottom of the channel, or what did we say? If this is all for nothing and we do want to break down, but look at the volume, 3.34 million on the break up in the 2-hour. You don't even come close in any of these 2-hour candles. Not even close. Not even on these big breakdowns. 846,000. So, again, just like XRP, I believe these are probably building pressure up here. They probably are. And right now, though, if we're in a broadening wedge and not a channel, remember, it could come all the way back down to here. But this channel seems like it's what form. We didn't hold it. We didn't hold it. So, be careful. But that's the formation. But we watched the volume. The volume told us that move couldn't continue. XLM, we think we're coming down. I think it was like the 10 something. Or 12.5. Oh yeah, 12.5 is the first one. Oh yeah. Okay, so 12.5 was our first opportunity to create that head. If we break through, we're going to retest this formation, which is where I think we're going. But when we were drawing this in the silent one, we talked about this is the first potential. This would be the main potential. But that's how you'd have to break through, so pay attention. A lot of death crosses forming here across the markets. In the short term, the weekly still looks fine. Weekly still looks good. We're coming back for consolidation right now in the weekly. Sorry, I rambled on. Let's see. Nice, Roger. Kevin Cage keeps you... I don't even know who that is, but I'll take your guys' word for it. I've heard that name in the chat before. I'm assuming a bigger influencer than I am. So, I mean, this is what we're looking at right now. We're just waiting for this channel to break, honestly. It is. The monthly looks fine, too, on XRP. Everything looks good in the higher time frames. It's the smaller time frame that looks like garbage. This is a prototypical retrace. Look at the volume crashing in the daily. Oh, this is an even easier way to show it. I mean, look at that volume. It is crashing. The volume up in the... Oh, that's the weekly. Let's go to the monthly. It's going to be too hard because we just started a month. But look at the weekly. I'll keep pointing at that weekly volume. The weekly push-up volume. 518 million. I know we've been looking at the daily a lot, but does this not look like a long-term bullish setup? 518 million on the first push-up. Then we start consolidating, 312 million. Basically the reversal candle, 166. This is your breakdown candle right now in the weekly. We have only 2 days left in the weekly, and this candle's pushed in a phenomenal 121 million. We got 2 days left. This pushed in 518 million. I don't know if we're going to have enough mustard to push it down. We're only averaging on XRP right now about 25 million per day. That only puts us at like 160 million for the week. And on the weekly, we all know if we close at 58.5 or higher, this whole thing is going to catch up. This is going to zoom up here because of this whole week playing. I mean, this looks like a bullish setup. Look at the volume. When you consolidate after a major breakup, you want crashing price, crashing volume to institute a bullish reversal, a bullish divergence in price action compared to price the volume. And look at this. I mean, I couldn't, if this was me drawing this up, I could not draw this up any better. I could not draw this up any better, I'll be honest with you. Could you? Anybody who understands volume in relation to price, you could not make that any better. You want to step down until you break out. Because you're crashing, price crash, consolidation, we're going for the liquidity. Wait till we get that liquidity bounce. Wait till we find those candles there. Wait till we find the buyers. You'll see what I mean in the weekly spike. All of a sudden it'll be boom, boom, boom. And you'll be like, holy shit. And you'll be like, damn, another 400 million weekly candles. Now that's something. Yeah, I can't vouch. I don't watch anybody really on YouTube. So you can go watch Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. My brother. You know, some of you know my brother. I can vouch for him. He's fun. He does the weather stuff too when he's not doing crypto. But he doesn't do this as he does this more as a hobby. But he likes to do technical analysis, but he's good at it. So if you want to go check out my brother, as he's been gaining some steam, he's about to go over 1,400 subscribers. Go check him out. So, there you go. Do a little solace for old Vincenzo. So what do we think? What do we think? I want to know. I want to know, what do you think about the weekly volume? What do you think about the weekly volume with XRP? The family get-togethers are quite interesting. Remember Florida? So if my whole family's together, it's a hell. It's a nightmare. If my mom, dad, and just certain people are together because they've been divorced since I was 8, it's not so great. But when it's me, my brother, when we're all together and it's not, if it's just me, my brother, and sister, it's awesome. We don't fight. We never have. We've always looked out for each other. So it's been one, you know, I basically, when I was 11, they were 9 and 7, you know, I was watching them in the summers and every day. So, you know, we have a good bond. So, but the parties are fun. Parties are fun. Let's put it that way. The parties are fun. Vincenzo's been saying maybe XRP to 700 plus in 2025. I can't tell if he's serious or not. Is he serious? Well, you know my opinion. And old Vincenzo, he might be jumped off the loony cliff. But he's not wrong about a very big bullish spike around the time of late 2024, early 2025. It's just the whole $700. I think he's showing you good technical analysis, but he's also showing you what hopium will get you. He's making kind of a play on the XRP community, in my opinion. They're all hoping for 97,000%. So he put it up there to show them what it would have to do to get him that. But he's also showing you the big bullish potential there when the market starts to turn around. But yeah, that I wouldn't take too seriously about 760, but I would pay very close attention to that time he's talking about. He likes to spin it with the hopium around the market, but he's doing it in a more positive way these days with more unity, and I like that about him. He's growing too. So, but yeah, that's my opinion. But if you want to know more, go watch Vincenzo. He does a good job. Keeps it light. He doesn't advertise anything. He's just like me. Right, Crypto? He is. He is. Oh, man. He does things. He's good at what he does, though. He's good at doing technical analysis. So anyhow, that's the weekly, folks. That is what gives me the most optimism. When you have crashing volume like that, and you have the price crashing down after 94% pump, you want a weak consolidation like that. In a week, you don't want a lot of sell volume. You want it to stop. You want the volume to just non-existent. They can't possibly push the price down any farther. And now we finally hit that crescendo moment where all the buyers are stacked. We've exhausted the sellers, and we meet it in the weekly right now. That's what I was saying. Would it surprise anybody if we came up, remember when I did this, and it just did this and created the prototypical bull consolidation on a bull flag? And that's exactly what it did. That looks like a prototypical bull flag in the making. And the next candle starting next week could make things very interesting. That's why it would behoove us not to go down to 585 before Sunday. But it wouldn't be out of the question because crypto's a weird son of a gun, I tell you what. But it would make all the sense in the world, and that's probably why it would behoove me that it wouldn't happen. But it makes all the sense in the world for this to bam and then start on a squeeze candle back up. Like, oh, we have a positive looking candle. We still haven't coming back anywhere in here, but we're starting the next weekly in a good spot. Imagine Jose. Imagine Jose, the wrong person, walks in here. Notice when I say we're going to relax with cannabis, Jose says, are we going to get high in here tonight? Are we going to get high? Oh, I love this community so much. And mind you, I'm in Michigan. Cannabis is legal here for everybody. They drop it off at your house. I can call somebody and, 45 minutes later, it's dropped off like a pizza. If I had $1 for every holy shit I've said, wouldn't need crypto, right? That's true. That's true. But yeah, we can absolutely do that. But it's just the way he said it. It's just the way he said it. Exactly, it was all tally. Like, how many people decided to stick this out? Wow, look at that, everybody. I always say it's remarkable that we always achieve 100% like ratio by the end. That is incredibly rare. You know that, don't you? Even when we had 320 people and we had a nice day a couple days ago and we were actually having a pump, we still got over that amount of likes. It's incredible. I don't know what to say to this community except you are awesome. Now, mind you, when I walk away to go roll this, some people might leave and you might be, mad. But I can absolutely do that, and I should do it now because we've already been on for 52 minutes. Oh boy, 52 minutes. And now we can watch this cycle through a little bit. So we'll go into the smaller time frame because we're very close. We're looking for a big dump candle here. Remember that 5 million candle? We're looking for another one, and this is the big caveat here. Once you break this, here's the broadening wedge support from the breakout, and here's the double top. So I'm gonna play in the background, and yeah, most of you will leave, but the real ones will stay because we still got more to do. But I'm gonna go roll my relaxation. It's almost been an hour. I should have come prepared, but I'm never prepared because I never plan on relaxing. And then, if you want to, I'm gonna play you the oh my god music. What will happen with XRP? Are we on the verge of another 8% drop down to 585? Will we find the buyers, or will we continue to fall through and lose all 94%? We will only find out when I come back. Alright, so now that we've lost most of the audience, I'm sure, I'm going to grab my lighter from over here. Whoops. Alright, so now that I got that out of the way, Julie, what kind was this time? Oh yeah. This one was a different kind. It was a caramel cone, they called it. So who the hell knows? The way it hits you, it's more like an indica. So I don't think it's a sativa this time. So how many people decided to stay? 90 people stayed. Wow, I really thought we'd have less. I think there was 115 when I walked away. But I thank you all for staying. So we're still waiting for XRP to break through this formation. We're basically on the verge, but remember, when we look at the bigger time frame, Jan, thank you so much for sticking around. Everybody who's still here, honestly, that's awesome. I appreciate it. But this looks like a bear flag's forming, and this really looks like it could come down quicker rather than later. Now, our only hope is we would reverse back and we come back above 6.7 or 637, break above this prior candle here in the short term, and try to retest the 65 cents. But like I said when it was coming down, I didn't see any strength there on the way down, so I didn't think there was any concern there. I only extended out this channel because that shows you why it bounced back up like this. But this looks very bearish. That's very bearish. Look at, just like on the way up, see how we broke down? And see how we tried to push up, and see how the volume's crashing? This is a very bullish consolidation for another move down. So what is true on the way up is also true on the way down. Everybody's out on a Friday. Exactly. Hey, they're getting wrecked in the bar, and as some always tell us, we're getting wrecked in crypto. Even though in this community it is 0% the case, but I will still let the naysayers say it, because guess what? Your biggest fans are your haters, and the haters push you the most. And the only reason I say that is because a hater will continuously comment they're going to comment the fact that you're doing a bad job and they don't agree with you. And that really helps push you through the analytics. They continuously will push their point to everybody in your audience. Now, one of my mods did ban somebody today because they used hate. They were hating. And I don't know if anybody caught that. And I don't know who the mod was, but whoever it was, I commend you. Only because this person was spreading hate. And it happened on a number of comments. And they were going from comment to comment telling people they were stupid for holding after it went up to 95 cents or 93 cents. Not giving you any reasons why, acting like everybody lost a bunch of money, and but not understanding how much people are still up in the fact that in the USA and most other places, we have a 35% capital gains tax here. So because we're not selling, that doesn't mean that we didn't sell it because we don't want profit. That means we've done our homework and we've done our proper market cycle. We're in a cycle right now. So it's, I used to say, everybody's not going to be around when the time matters in 2025 to 2028. Only the ones who are meant to be around are going to survive it. And that's the truth. Yes, it's boring right now watching this because we're waiting for extra. It seems like it's just a matter of time before it breaks through this level. Bitcoin, we can take a look at that chart real quickly as we have 100 people in here. Thank you so much for sticking around. 101 people, 128 likes. Thank you so much. Make sure if you appreciate what I do, you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to show your support, join Tom's Army. I would love to see more people in here in Tom's Army. You can send a YouTube super chat if you want. But the Army is where it's at. And I don't do paid advertisement, paid promotion, or paid sponsorships of any kind because I want you to have a free viewing experience. I don't want you to have to be behind a paywall or listen to a 27-minute video and only 7 minutes is information and the rest is me promoting some stupid shit. So right now with Bitcoin, we have this broadening wedge pattern. But remember, if we reject here right now, see what we came down? If we get a rejection here on this broadening wedge and we break down, the technical target here is 25,194. Now that is not guaranteed to happen here. You could just as easily come down and double bottom on the channel here. But that's what we're looking for right now. I love watching with a nice cold beer. Love that. Digger's golden shovel. You must have the perseverance of a fisherman in crypto. Absolutely. And you know what? I was a hell of a fisherman too. Still am, but I haven't fished as much lately. But, you know, that's a good analogy. But that's Bitcoin to a T. That's Bitcoin to a T. And looking at XRP, now we're hindering on the 63 cent mark. See, it's all due process, folks. When you know what you're looking at, you can just wait it out. You don't have to be scared. And then if it does pull back up in the 4 hourly, let it. Prove it. You just came down on the bottom of the 2 hourly after showing very low strength to try to get back up on it. For how many hours there? So now it's going to have to prove it to us. Like on this chart, you can see it's broken through there. But that's why we need this chart. We're just waiting, folks. We're literally just waiting. We're killing time. And I've done everything I need to do in this live, so I can literally sit here and talk to everybody. And JW, there's another fall. There's another fall. Darren, another fall of the tablet. A lot of people like the tablet because I've had it for so long, and it's a true story. I bought this tablet because so many people were donating in the beginning, and when I got up to my first, I think it was $1,500 back in 2021, I said, I'm going to put it into the tablet for everybody because I was using my phone. I said, I'm going to put it back into the show. Best decision I ever made. Paid off it in my credit card points, see? And then I got more points out of it. Make your money work for you. We all about fell over. I'm actually watching it on my phone, remember? So I see exactly what's happening. So I just see my... But I do appreciate everybody. I do appreciate the fact that you love crypto enough to watch me, or you love what I do enough to watch. I have a lot of people, believe it or not, that watch this that don't trade crypto, and I find that unbelievable. But it's also very humbling. It's so windy over here. I can't like this. It's insanity. Hold on. I gotta figure this out. Ah, there we go. So if you got them, if you're relaxing, now would be the time to light it up because you see what's happening. There is no convenience on why I come on every day, folks. And even today, to the 85 or 90 people that were in the live earlier, you blew me away because it had nothing to do with XRP within the technical analysis, had nothing to do with the charts. All we talked about was the new evidence that was coming out against the SEC. And we had a lit discussion for 22 minutes, and I can't thank you enough. And maybe instead of doing the instant premieres, I'll just do a short live like that instead. That might be what I do. But look at XRP. It's starting to break down here slowly but surely. We've been trying to figure this out. So for this to break through, we need to lose this low right now. We lose this 625, our next support 6133. I don't really put a lot of stock into it. That was the old broadening wedge breakout. But if we measure this move, if we just measure the move, we came from here. Now, this is where you have to use your interpretation. We'll draw two of them like I always say. When you're indecisive, just do it twice. The first one would get you to about there. So then now if you want to do it like I would the entire way, because some people like to do it, all right, it had a slowdown and then another drop. I don't agree with that. Because if you take this into a higher time frame, you're not going to see this consolidation. Those are just going to be full candles. So you have to go from here to here, in my opinion. So, as we teach, you understand why I do what I do. And then we'll go into the higher time frame so you can see what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I'm just being a dick. So look at that daily candle. You can basically go through the daily, but I like to look in the smaller time frame so we can see it. That 4 hourly, we fell from all the way up here and we extended all the way out to here. So now that's just trying to give us our measured move. That's all we're looking for. We're not going to go all the way. Now we're going to go back to the 30 minute. Now we're going to have to go find it. But now where do we break down? So we're trying to line it up here. So where's the best time to break down? Is it going to be here, bounce, consolidate? So then like what I would do is then you're like, oh, well, maybe we bounce off that part. And people are like, well, what the hell is that? Why would it bounce off there? Well, I'm trying to line it up with the evidence I have in front of me with that flag. So to get to my area, you know, maybe we have a bounce down and we consolidate in here and then we have the final breakdown. So that is what I would be targeting, and that gets us to Saturday, August 5th. There you go. That's what I'm looking at now. That's what I'm looking at. And people always be like, I've never heard anybody do it the way you do. You can't. I taught myself how to do this, right or wrong. It's what ended up working. So who's to say whose way is better? All you're trying to do with technical analysis, remember, somebody created the indicator, somebody created the exponential moving averages, somebody created the volume indicator, somebody created the fan, somebody created the Fibonacci, all based on their own statistics, all on their own mathematics. So you can do it yourself too, and that's what makes the most sense to me. So I'm just lining it up with the pattern movements. That's why I say the channel movement, even if it busts, that's still important because you can get the rejection where you need it. Right now, we don't have a firm rejection. We just came over it. If we come to the broadening wedge, come back up, get rejected on the channel and get squeezed, and then break it down, whew. Crypto Scrooge, I appreciate that. Jose, lighten up one with you, brother. Will be our new tradition. It sure will. This will be at the end. We'll do this at the end. We don't know how long the end's going to be, but we'll do this at the end. I mean, I like that the lives, you know, are mostly going over an hour now. Some have been an hour and a half, 2 hours. ATK, you're a Christian. Amen. Amen. Let me wipe this off because I can tell that this has gotten a little foggy. Oh man, I wish I would have realized that sooner. Jesus. Look at that. Look at everybody. I stepped into HD from standard definition. So proud of that. After 3 years, everything just clicked. GJG. Yeah, it does. Yep. After a while, it does. After a while, you just start, you pay attention, you start seeing it, and then they can only do the same pattern so many times, right? You can only have the same formation so many times. So some will be like, well, why are we waiting here with XRP? We're waiting for the next volatile move. I don't know. The last 2 nights, I've been up until 4 a.m. with my son, and today, he hasn't napped yet. So if I walk back in there and he's sleeping, maybe. Maybe. But everybody, look at this too. You want to see another reason why I'm confident that this is likely breaking down? Or I don't like to say guarantee. Remember I used to say guarantee and it would come true, but I don't like the guarantee. That's egotistical. I like to say likely or allegedly or potentially. You know, that's just I would like to say I would come on later tonight because I think we're gonna have a volatile move at some point. But look at this. Dump, up, consolidation, trying to come back up, and now we're starting to break down. Huge spike, crash. I mean, huge crash. Now we're going to have a sell volume, and it's going to send it down likely. That's what we're looking for. This is a bullish consolidation for a continued move down. Or you can say it's a bearish formation, because it is. This is absolutely, that's a bear flag. And it's trying to break out of it. I pay Tom for my research, but that's just me. He's the best there is, period. Hey, I appreciate that. I like to think it more that you're not paying me. You're just paying it forward for the time put in. You realize that $10 a month for all the work. I put out 3,600 videos almost in, what, 2.5 years? That's not easy. Do you know how many videos a day I have to put out 3,500 videos already? Oh, Terry, enjoy the pizza. I am very jealous now. Very jealous. But not envious, just jealous. Enjoy your pizza and have a blessed night. I'll talk to you in the comments, I'm sure. I'm trying to retire. I need this stuff to pump like crazy. Well, if you want to retire, build it the way that I'm showing everybody. Just build it the way I'm showing you. Make sure you become your own central bank by universally putting profits when it's the end of market cycles into precious metals and buying precious metals when you're supposed to. Right now it's tough because it's getting more expensive, but silver's still an 80-to-1 ratio. Just use my system. I buy silver at 80-to-1. Silver. Well, this is sterling silver. It's only 90% or whatever. But I buy silver rounds, silver bars, and I like to trade them back for gold when it's 40-to-1, which means the ratio goes from 80-to-1, it closes the gap to 40-to-1, which historically it's well under 40-to-1 when you get back into a true cycle. And then you get to keep 40 ounces of silver, you get an ounce of gold. It's a brilliant system. Nobody really talks about it. Mike Maloney does. Peter Schiff does. I've heard Greg Manarino talk about, trading out for buying silver when it's cheap and changing it for gold later. Because the bottom line is your silver is going to weigh more than gold. Not by a 1-to-1 ratio, but you need to have more silver. So right now you need 80 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold. So it's going to get heavy. So eventually you're going to have to transfer it back into gold at some point. It's just, you're going to have to. So with XRP, as we see, 63 cents we're holding on to right now. What is your thoughts while we close out this live here? What is your thoughts? We have 112 people here now. Okay. See, there's nothing I can say to make anybody ever leave. As long as I mean, you guys stay, and gals, I appreciate it. Mr. Anderson, your wife and you are huge into precious metals. She moved 200,000 in a self-directed IRA a couple years ago and bought gold. Holy smokes. Okay. You understand becoming your own central bank better than most. Tell your wife I commend her for that decision because it's going to pay more dividends than I think even she or you realize right now, with precious metals being a safe store of value, and the 401ks likely get hammered in the year 2024 through 2026. They might be completely wiped out by then. Keep trying to tell my dad, if there's one thing you ever listen to me, get out of those fucking 401ks and please just buy fucking, if you have to, buy big fucking bar of gold and just be done with it, because at least you know that value's safe. My biggest fear is he's going to lose 80% of his fucking money in his 401k. Won't listen to me. Yeah, you guys always ask me if my family listens to me. The unequivocal answer is no. My dad has a financial advisor who buys all the FANG stocks. He always calls me. He's got me an Apple and Google or Alphabet and Microsoft and all the ones that could make anybody money in the bull market, but all the ones that get people wrecked when they actually have to come back down to price over earnings. My dad understands the PE ratio, but then he'll let them buy them in the companies just because of the FANG stocks. Even if the ratio is a 27-to-1. Like, anybody who knows anything about a price, you don't want that. You need it more like a 1-to-2. You want 1 or 2-to-1. Really, you want if you can get a 1-to-1, I mean, that's so rare now, but that's what I'm looking for. Even with my commodities, it's pushing it if it gets to 6-to-1, even though they're paying a dividend. B2 Gold right now, by the way, speaking of commodities. I always find a way to talk about B2 Gold. Thanks, Dad. B2 Gold, $3.12. Remember the buy target? Remember what we were looking at? I told you, if you're scared and you want to start buying at a certain point, you buy here in this formation, and then you buy every 20% down, because if it breaks it, it's going to go down. But like I said, decision to buy, it was at $3.13 or $3.18 or whatever. My goal was to get everybody to start buying this at $3.12. And see this little bear flag that could have formed? That means if we buy at $3.12, let's say you have 2,000. You buy 5,000 at 312 and it breaks down 20% below, you buy another 5. And then you start getting on the commodity train. That pays a 5% dividend. Think about that as the US dollar becomes deflated over the long term. The reason commodities are breaking down, not because they're devalued, because the US dollar is rising, which means gold and silver went down. At the same time, Fortuna Silver Mines, anybody who was on board, we were able to buy Fortuna Silver Mines, our first purchase, finally, in that formation where I circled. I actually bought it. I actually bought this formation for my first purchase. $3.20. I'm not a fudster, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a fudster, so I need to look at it. I need to see exactly what I bought it for. So like I'm transparent. $3.28 I bought it for. And I got 375 shares. So you can do the math. So that's where I made my first stab, and I meant to buy it at $3.33. Honestly, I buy mine. You won't believe it. Cash App. Cash App's my favorite place for the stock market because they're FDIC backed. You can use them as a bank. Stocks, cryptos. It's the best kept secret out there, in my opinion. You can transfer so much money in and out on the same day. It doesn't matter because it's like transferring it from a bank. Like, that is the best kept secret in the USA, and a lot of people are putting a lot of bad talk on Cash App. Oh, they steal my money, they do this. Good luck with that. They're FDIC backed. It's always the people that are, and I don't want to be, I'm not saying this in any disrespect, but it's the one who are normally on government assistance that'll tell you the Cash App stole their money. But they don't realize there's fees. And like, it's not disrespect. But like, if you don't have any money in the account, let's just say there's a $2 fee on something you did. Well, yeah, they're going to take your money that ends up being put in there the next time. Whatever the backup fee is, if you put 50 bucks in there and you owe money, they're going to take it. And then people say they steal their money, but you guys know how it works. Now, the reason why I don't buy as much Fortuna Silver Mines and I buy more B2 Gold, Fortuna Silver Mines does not have a dividend. And right now, like I said, we're going to get probably a better buying opportunity, but I needed somewhere to reinsert myself into Fortuna Silver Mines. And that's just a target I've had for a long time. But if it breaks down, I'm going to be very happy because then I might be able to do a dedicated buy every so often as it goes down. Not might, I'll be able to. So, but B2 Gold, my plan, I needed to get in. It's a 5% dividend right now. But I needed to get in somewhere, and this was the perfect time. Perfect time. So just pay attention. That's the commodity stuff. Those aren't always going to go down. Those always have those quick downturns when the dollar goes up. But wait till the dollar goes and rests. Wait till it goes to rest. XRP making this little bid we talked about because it could come up here, possibly, if it wants to try to act like it's going to try to not have that 4-hour cross happen. So we could get a consolidation here too. You guys know how it works. It's going to try to entice buyers here to push it farther down. Just like when you need liquidity to go up, you need more sellers to push liquidity down. So that's where we stand tonight, everybody. That's where we stand tonight. I'm winding down here. My voice is tired. I appreciate everybody. I really do. Really do. If you want to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join Tom's Army, or send a YouTube super chat, this is your last chance. Or just simply say thank you. If you're looking for an exchange that you can put your money on outside of Uphold, because Uphold went down on us and it always does, yada yada yada, but a place to where you can buy to send to Uphold with cheaper fees, 0.9% on Femex. We're starting to find out that that's a very well kept secret there. You put money on there, it's only 0.9% from your bank account, but when you buy stuff, it's the lowest maker fees on the market. So on the spot buys. And then you can do 50,000 a day from exchange to exchange. I like to have more on-off ramps. So I'm not affiliated, so that's just a registration link. So you're going to have to do the work. I don't like to be affiliated with anybody because I like to push the content I want. If I want to talk about Uphold, I'm going to talk about Uphold. If I want to talk about THUMX, I'm going to talk about THUMX. I don't need them telling me what exchange to talk about. Just like if I want to talk about DGB, I don't need some asshole at XRP or anybody who's telling me to push a coin to tell me I can only talk about one thing, or I have to push 3 times a month the next big coin. That's the other thing. You want to talk a secret here? I'm getting sick of this too because it's becoming more prevalent. How is our favorite, everybody, okay. When you ask me if I watch, because this becomes prevalent, positivity over negativity, but this is a truth. I'm allowed to have truth moments. We're going to have a truth moment. This is a truth bomb. This is me being serene. Notice I always say I put these in an hour and 22 minutes to the back end when nobody will watch. You know, if they're watching the actual video. If you're part of the live, which is 100 people, more people are seeing it. But how incredibly dishonest, discerning, and honestly a slap in the face when we watch somebody and every 3 weeks or every 2 weeks they tell you the next big coin, the next sleeping giant, and then they just disappear. And then when the coin fails, or the token, they just don't talk about it. Whatever happened to building a plan? Everybody talks about the ISO plan, but all they ever do is they push the next big coin. Fuck that. XRP is the big coin, remember? The ISO tokens are the big token. The IoT tokens, the ones that are compliant, those are the big tokens. So I mean, how the hell did Ben token even become a discussion? I'm not here to bust anybody's balls, but man, I said it at the time and I'll say it again. How many more zeros can you print off on this thing? You know, but that's what the average day influencer has turned into. And I know people are leaving because I said I'm leaving, but these are the good times to catch a little rant if you like it. You know? And the other thing, the reason why I don't watch anybody else for the most part, besides Vincenzo, Crypto Solo Scrooge, Corium Concepts, you know, I'll watch like the Peter Schiffs and the Mike Maloney's and all that. The reason why I don't watch them is they taint you. Even if they have good information, they have a 10-minute video. 7.5 minutes is why you should buy some other nonsense, promoting some bullshit nobody cares about. Just give me the video. Is that so hard? Just give me the video. Let's do this the right way. And that's what I do. I don't advertise. I give you the video. I give you what I want. And then they're like, well, you can, everybody, this, I get this all the time. Tom, you can make a lot of money if you just do paid sponsorships. I could lose my dignity along the way too. I can make a lot of money selling my body on the side of the road or selling drugs, but that's not the way. You want to make honest money. I'm not doing this to trick people. I'm doing this to build wealth. I tell that from the beginning, I said this is historical data, historical evidence. Because one day someone's going to say, well, why didn't you tell me, my family, why, or anybody, well, I don't have any friends anymore, but the people who are my acquaintances, let's say, that come around when they need something. They'll say, well, why didn't you tell me? I'm going to say, oh, well, I did. In fact, on YouTube right now, I got 800,000 videos. No, I got 4,000 videos that we're approaching. You know, so there's going to come a day we're going to have the reckoning. There's going to be people on the right side of history and the wrong side. My own family's going to be on the wrong side, but guess what? They're going to be on the right side because of me. They might not have listened, but that doesn't mean I let them suffer. You have to be pure, otherwise it's not going to work. We did not hit 58 cents yet, Sean. We're doing this consolidation because we're about to have a Deathcross in the 4-hourly. So remember, we're right here when we started falling through. We had to consolidate back up. Same thing. Same thing. And welcome in, Sean, my main man from Maine. But we're about to exit here, Sean. I was just talking on the way out. But that's my truth. That's what I get sick of on YouTube, personally. So I appreciate everybody. I really do. I appreciate you all. You need to watch my video to get my opinion on Bitcoin. Well, I mean, my opinion of Bitcoin is I wouldn't own it. I don't think it's going to make it through the next... I mean, it's going to make it, but I think there's better opportunities. I mean, if you want to buy Bitcoin, and let's just say Bitcoin is 30 to 60K, you could buy Bitcoin. You could buy Bitcoin in one exit, but the likelihood is if Bitcoin goes back to 60K, A lot of these altcoins aren't going to be where you see them now. Not even close. But if Bitcoin ever breaks out truly, you've got some of the ones that are looking at utilizing market cap and the ones that have been looking for market dominance for a long time. But Bitcoin is, it's like I used to say, and like I'll continue to say, Bitcoin is like first edition. It's the easiest way to put it. It's first edition. It's like the Nintendo compared to the PlayStation 5. How about that? Hell, forget that. It's like the Atari compared to the PlayStation or the Xbox. Or it's like the old, a better comparison would be like the modern day computers, like the old Dells, or how we went from dial-up to wireless. There you go. Bitcoin's like dial-up. The ISO tokens and the new digital tokens and assets you want to own, and the IoT tokens, XRP, is wireless. As Jan said, which would make it easier, it's like analog to digital. Yep. In some ways, analog is better. But digital is pure. Get a better picture. But, oh, well, you guys will love the way I do it. Ever since I realized that you don't need to buy the new system because you miss out on the old, and I'll explain myself, just like with the phone. You never buy the new one. You buy the old one. So right now I still have the Samsung Galaxy Note 10, and I'm still a generation behind on my tablet. Now I am. Because I don't buy the new technology, even more so with gaming systems. So hear me out. So when the PS4 came out, or the PS5 was announced, I bought the PS4. I waited like 4 years. So now the PS5's been out, I have the PS4. Because I play all the games that I would have never played because they turn into 50, 75, 80% off, becomes destitute. And you play all of those games and then all the sweats are gone. All the sweats are gone, and then you can enjoy the games. Not anymore, though. Yep, it is the commodity. Yes, I did, ATK. I did relax. But you know, there's 102 people here still. It's crazy to think that all of you are still sitting here as I babble on. But that's where we sit. But somebody asked about Bitcoin. That's the only reason I showed this. It's in that broadening wedge. If we break down and confirm here, we have to lose this channel first because that's the double bottom support that will form. But as long as we don't lose this area, Bitcoin could still surprise a lot of people and bounce up out of this broadening wedge. If it breaks down, we're going to 25,194. No surprises here. But everybody, calling it a day. Thank you so much. Have a good night. I'll see you all later. Stay blessed, and thank you for blessing me.